Criticism to me is a double-edged sword. You can take it and listen to it and fade away, or you can listen to it, find some truth in it, and better yourself. So again, when I hear something, growing up with a drill sergeant, you can't hurt my feelings. No word can hurt my feelings. You listen sometimes to what the people are saying, especially if it's people you respect. The people you don't respect, you don't even listen to them.
The story of the Chinese farmer. So he loses his horse, and everybody in the town comes over and they say, "Oh, well, that's terrible." And he's like, "Maybe." And then the next day, 7 wild horses come back, and they all come over and they say, "Oh, well, that's great." And he says, "Well, maybe." And the next day, his kid is taking out one of the wild horses and breaks his leg, and the whole town comes over and they say, "Oh, that's terrible now, isn't it?" He says, "Maybe." The next day, the conscription officers come over and they're taking people into the military to go fight, and they pass by his son because he's got a broken leg, and the whole town comes over and they say, "Oh, that's great now, isn't it?" He says, "Maybe." And the point of it is that you never really know if something is bad or good because you don't know how that's going to affect the rest of your life.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
Every time I've lost, people say you got to jump right back up. I disagree with that. After you lose, or when you get knocked down, stay down there for a minute. Understand why you lost. What were the reasons? Why are you down here? Why did you lose? So every time I lost, I stayed down for a second, minutes, hours, days. But when I stood up, I was different. I was smarter. Now you start putting the pieces that are necessary to win over and over and over again.
People think that you should be weak and you should be docile, you should be a pacifist. No, you should be a monster. You should be ruthlessly ambitious and then learn how to control it. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
You know, before I used to take everything and think, oh, I want this, I want that. I was never happy with what I got. It's human nature, we always want more. No matter what it is, no matter how much you got of something, then you're always searching for more things. And now it's like, I don't care if I lose everything, I don't care what happens. Nothing really is ours anyway in life. We only borrow it till we die, and it all goes. The only thing we truly own in this life is moments in time. And this is a moment in time for me that will never be erased. And no matter what happens, this is always going to be my time. This will be my moment in time because I lived here and I was a part of this.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. So what's happened along that process? You've learned to love the journey, right? You love the journey. Man, when you love the journey, the goals just happen. You hit milestones as a side effect, right? Because it doesn't matter. At that point, I don't care if I can lift this much weight or run this fast. I mean, that's cool and it's great and I love it, but I don't love it as much as I love the journey. I love the journey. What does the journey consist of? Sucking at something, failing, getting better, learning, start a new journey, start it over, do it again. The journey now involves I'm aging, my joints hurt. How do I figure that out? Oh, the process, here we go. And so when you fall in love with the journey, everything else takes care of itself.